Hello everyone, welcome to Bonsai Trading. Yes, I have changed my name. I am no longer Groot's Technical Analysis, and I'm doing this because of a couple reasons. I'm just starting trading bots now with Astrobit. You can find links for that in the description, and that is currently in beta testing. So if you'd like to go check out Astrobit and how you can automate your trading using trading bots, it's going to be a very good thing to add to your investment portfolio. It's a new hot thing, so I encourage you to look at that. In the Discord, we are constantly monitoring Bitcoin and Ethereum. We're monitoring stablecoin dominance. We're monitoring the US dollar and what it's doing, as well as the S&P and NASDAQ constantly. Every single week, I do a weekly update for the premium members in the Discord. So be sure to check that out. And again, all the links to those items will be in the description. But today I want to go over what Bitcoin is doing, right? We've had quite a big retracement in the last week, and this might have come as a little bit of a surprise to some people. However, it's not really a big surprise. Bitcoin has been on a tear. We are in a bullish market now, so I do not recommend shorting anything at the moment. That may change soon, and I will, as usual, update my community when that happens. But right now, you can see we draw this trend line on Bitcoin, and just using something as simple as a trend line is really important. If you don't know anything about reading charts or how to do this, I really encourage you to at least educate yourselves in some fashion. I'm not saying to come to my Discord, that stuff is everywhere. However, I do consider myself one of the cheaper options. I'm not trying to gouge people. Just having a simple trend line here is very important. You can see this was our yearly downtrend, right? The entirety of last year was just brutal for most people. However, it was pretty good for me, and it was pretty good for the people in the Discord. We were shorting this market pretty much the entire time, and I was making sure people were not buying dip after dip, because by the time you get done buying all these dips, you are out of money. So just seeing this simple trend break is a good sign. You can see we actually came back down and retested it, and now we are bullish on an 821 EMA perspective. You can see these EMAs were bearish until they crossed here, right? Sometime in January of this year, they crossed, and now we are in a bullish market. You can also see, if we draw some fibs, that just drawing from the bottom to the top here, you can see we nailed this 0.5 perfectly. It's perfect. And this is where I started to encourage people of my premium section and on Twitter as well, that this is when you want to start dollar cost averaging into Bitcoin. You can go check my Twitter. It's the pinned tweet there still. And this is when we were buying. And now we are doing really well. We're experiencing a pullback now. What can we expect in the coming week to 2 weeks to maybe a month? This is an uptrend forming, right? And you can maybe start to draw that now, right? And so Bitcoin can really remain bullish even if it retraces all the way back down to 23, 22K. This is where it's still bullish on a high time frame. It's going to hurt a lot of people if they've been buying up here at the top, but if you've been dollar cost averaging in the areas where I've been recommending, we're doing really well still. Just on a USDT dominance perspective, this is the range that the stablecoin has been trading in between 7.29% and 6.54%. And you can see we're hitting the top of that range now. So if this continues to come higher and break this level that we're currently trying to get through, then we're going to see a little bit more downside on Bitcoin and altcoins specifically. Altcoins are going to take the brunt of the damage when Bitcoin starts falling. So you got to be careful with altcoins during this bear market rally is really all it is. I do not consider this to be the next bull market starting, and there's several reasons why. I won't get into all that right now, but it's something that I constantly go over. We will know when the bull market starts. I can guarantee you that. And this is not the time yet, but this is a good time to be dollar cost averaging. Looking at this, we can see a pattern called a Wyckoff distribution on USDT dominance. And this is the pattern, and this is on a weekly chart, mind you. So this is going to take a while to play out. I'm going to get rid of these, but this is the pattern. And if you don't know what a Wyckoff distribution is or what a Wyckoff accumulation is, I encourage you to go on Google and just Google those terms. And you're going to learn a lot about how to spot these patterns in high time frame charts. And this is the pattern. And so I do expect this to continue downward at some point in time. Now, it's not a perfect science. It doesn't help you to time the market, so to speak, too much, but it allows you to see that the market is shifting, and it's starting to shift into a different perspective. And the perspective now is going to be going into a bullish market. Now, this could take a year for it to actually fully pan out. So in the meantime, we take advantage of shorter term plays, shorter term leverage plays, swing trading, and at the same time dollar cost averaging into those positions for the long term at the same time. If you're using perps to trade, I do want you to be careful. This is not something that you can just get rich quick doing. You can get lucky and hit a big one, sure, but it's not something that you can consider a consistent means of income. A lot of people out there will post their profit shots and this is some sort of dream that can be had, and it's really just not a reality. It's something that you're going to maybe get lucky on a few here and there, but without really like accurate low time frame technical analysis with proper risk management, you're not going to do that well on the long term. So we do it for short-term stuff and with a little bit of our capital, but we're not putting the majority of our capital into high risk perp trading. It's just not that lucrative. You'll lose it just as fast as you make it. So I hope this helps. I think I see Bitcoin doing something along the lines of choppiness this week. I don't think we're going to see a whole lot of movement. If we do, it's going to be more downside. In my opinion, the weekly candle here was pretty telling. If I want to show you this. So this is a big bearish engulfing candle, and we broke the channel that we were in once again. However, we are tapping the weekly 8 EMA right here. So this level at 27K is going to be really important. If we break down below that, we can see continued downside deck back down to this 25.2 level, which is very important. You can see if I just put a little line right here, this is a very important level. This is where we couldn't break through back in August, and this is where we couldn't break through the first time we tried it again in February. Had a big retracement down, and then we finally got this big green candle to break us through. If we break the 8 EMA at 27K, I fully expect us to come back down here to around 25.2 level and start consolidating some more. If we do find support here this week, then maybe this bearish engulfing candle isn't going to be anything mid to longer term, and we can get some support and find our way up to this 32.5, 32.6 level that we've been aiming for a while. Ultimately, I see the bull market going all the way to this what's called the golden pocket in between the 618 and the 71. Every single previous cycle has done this, right? So if you've been accumulating your bags down here at this 16K level and dollar cost averaging in on all the dips that come along, we are going to want to take our profits up here. It will retrace from up here. I can almost guarantee it. It does it every single time. And then once it does, it'll find its way down here again to find support, probably end of the year, early 2024. And then that is when our next bull market should begin, if history is a useful tool to where we can just use the previous cycles as in their patterns to see what Bitcoin can possibly do in the next bull cycle. Now, I do have next bull cycle targets. If you'd like to know more about that, you can join the Discord. It's 2 weeks free. There's a link in the description, and I hope to see you there soon. Thank you. Have a good one.